Howdy folks, welcome back to Moondockery. Today I'm going to share with you a few items I picked up at a local indoor flea market. Now I am a huge fan of antique stores. I'm also a huge fan of military surplus stores. Now the one thing that you have going with each of them is that they generally specialize in one particular category of stuff. Well, a flea market, a flea market, it has everything. And sometimes you go to a good flea market, you can find all kinds of antiques, or you can pick up some military surplus. But the one nice thing about a flea market is that they're all independent sellers, and all they want to do is sell their stuff. They don't have a store. They don't have overhead. So they're willing to price things right, and if you need to do a little dickering and get that price down, usually they're pretty into it. Every once in a while you'll see the little sticker on there, such and such price, firm. Well, that's fair enough, no problem. But I found a few priced as is items at a particular indoor flea market that completely blew my mind. I was able to bring home over the past several months from the same flea market several items that I just have to share with you, and the prices I paid for them. Now, if any of you are fans of flea markets as well, you know that when you find that one thing that catches your eye and you're considering purchasing it, you give it a good thorough once over. Inspect it to see if all the parts are there, to see if it's in working order, see if it's in the condition that you want, and you're looking at the price tag. So you're going to go ahead and do a little calculation, a little formulation in your mind as to whether or not you actually want it, if it's worth the price that they pay, if they drop the price, is it worth you purchasing at that point? It's a whole thing. But some people live for that kind of a mindset. Well, I'm not exactly there yet. But I'm certain as I get older, I'll be much more that guy. When I go to a surplus store, I see something that's used that I'm interested in, I go full on inspection mode. And I've had enough issues purchasing things in the past that weren't quite what I thought they were, but I just got excited and I grabbed it and I bought it, and I didn't take the time to inspect it. So that's the nice thing about a flea market. You can pick things up, you can get a good thorough inspection. If it's not what you want, you set it down. If it is what you want, but there's a couple issues with it that you think you can repair or you think that you can live with, you can always talk to the dealer and get those prices down a little bit. Well, this little indoor flea market I've been frequenting, I'll go in, I'll see something, and literally I could be employed by the inspectors of manufacturers that put the little sticker or the little piece of paper, inspected by Inspector 12. Yeah, I could be that kind of guy because I go through everything, especially when it comes to military surplus. I'll go through, I'll look at every seam, I'll look at every buckle, I'll look at every strap. I'll make certain all the zippers are exactly the way they need to be. And if they're not, if the price is worth it to me, and it's one of those things that I can easily repair myself, I can go ahead and pick it up. I went to a huge, absolutely ginormous swap meet several years ago, not too far away from me. I mean, this thing is an entire huge county fairground, and it's completely cram-packed. I found an Granite Gear Chief Patrol pack, and there was a whole stack of them. Every single one of them had major issues with them. Some of them had huge tears in them. Yeah, that's repairable, but it's a complete pain in the patoot to do it. Well, I found one, and the only issue were the two main zippers. And it was an easy fix. All I needed to do was to remove a couple of the teeth of the zipper low down, right there toward the end, put the zip back on it, the pull, and then sew with heavy duty string up above where I removed the tooth to the point where the zipper's no longer going to go down that far. It was perfectly functional at that point. And at the time, that particular Granite Gear Chief Patrol Pack was being sold for $759. The general overall condition was very good. It would be, classified online as very good to like new. And I was able to pick it up for 70 bucks. That's a significant savings for a little bit of work. Now, I'm going to take you through, I'm going to show you some of the stuff I picked up there. And there's a couple little things I have in mind for them. And I'm going to share that stuff with you. Like I said, I picked all this stuff at this indoor flea market. And I've been going there, I don't know, every once in a while since around January. And there's a lot of times while I'll bop in, I'll walk around, I don't see anything. And there are other times I'll go and I say, oh, I see a couple things that look pretty good. And sometimes I buy things, sometimes I'm like, well, no, not going to. But over the past several months, I started thinking about all the individual items I've acquired. And I was like, yeah, I got some good loot. Yeah, I do. I'm going to start off by showing you a couple of the smaller, less expensive items. Now, these items I do not believe are actual surplus items. However, they have a very similar tag system as a military item. They are magazine pouches and a very interesting design. I like them very much. And not only can I use this as a magazine pouch, however, it's absolutely fantastic for folding knives or multi-tools. And the system that they have for their molly strap is pretty cool too. And it's a lot more user-friendly than the regular one. It's a Velcro closure and it streams on down, right back up, and it's got a little locking fold mechanism on the bottom. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty sweet. There were these two in here. I grabbed them, turned over, $3 a piece. And these are literally brand new. There's no packaging, but there is zero sign of wear. $6 for these two. I think that's a pretty dang good deal. Now, another little item I picked up is a 2-point rifle sling. It has a locking sliding mechanism. Very nice. It has all of the ladder locks that I would need, and it has all the length of webbing that I need. I actually make one very similar to this. I actually think mine is better, but I actually make one just like this. A good buddy of mine, served in Afghanistan, salvaged items to make his own, and I looked at his and I used his as the main idea for the ones that I manufacture. Just about all of my long arms has this style of 2-point sling on it. Now, I would say that with all the parts that I buy, because I try to buy just enough to where I get a little bit of discount per item on the amount I buy, but I don't have enough money to buy like a gross of items like this. This item right here, if you bought this new as a part, brand new online, it's probably going to cost you anywhere between $4 to $7 depending on where you get it from. So that one particular item alone on this sling has more value than the total sling, but it's a complete sling. This is perfectly fine, usable, and if it is used at all, it's incredibly minimal usage. So me, when I make these, I think everything in total I'd say between $7 or $8 worth of materials. And so being able to get the whole thing for $3, that's a pretty good deal. There might be a couple little modifications I make to this to make it a little bit more like mine, but I'm definitely saving a lot of money because any of the modifications that I need to make to this is going to be microscopic in price. Now, these, you know how I feel about the universal camouflage pattern. I do not like it at all. However, you also know that I have a way to where I can dye these, and whether I want them a really dark chocolate brown like my walnut dyed stuff, or I choose to use one of the many recipes for colors that RIT has on their website, I can dye these any color I want. And so these are going to destine for the dye bath. I'm going to do probably something more of like a coyote, or maybe even just an olive drab. But again, I do not like the universal camouflage pattern at all. However, I love the sustainment pouches. The sustainment pouches are absolutely fantastic for all kinds of things. I have a bike, I have a mountain bike, and I rigged up a way to where I can use the sustainment pouches and clip those in and use them in 4 different locations on my bike as saddlebags. Tons of different possible uses for these things. They're fantastic. Now, this one here, it has definite use and it's got some markings on there. This is pretty well used, but everything is completely intact. All the webbing, all the buckles, everything. It's perfectly serviceable. Just a little bit worn, a little bit stained. $3. This one was a much better condition. I would say this would be very good because just slight stains, slight signs of wear, but I would classify this as very, very good. And again, perfect condition. This one was $5. And same booth. There were a few more like this. And I just figured, well, I don't want to be stingy. I don't want to grab all of them. But when I go back and I see more of them, I'll probably pick them up because these are so versatile. Now, a lot of you like to keep a go bag in your vehicle. And that's a fantastic mindset to have. There's a lot of people that like to have things in their vehicle to keep there all the time for the vehicle. You know, some people refer to it as it's their bug out vehicle, whatever. But for me, keeping things in your vehicle for your vehicle is just common sense. That's what you do. That's when you break down in the middle of nowhere, you don't have to worry because you got stuff to help you out while you're in there. Whether it's tools, maybe it could be, you know, some type of like a sleeping bag, something like that. If it's winter, you could put like a little e-tool, all kinds of things that you could use for your vehicle if things go awry. But these are absolutely fantastic. They have very inexpensive back panels for seats now. They used to be very expensive, but now you can get them fairly cheap. They even have some that's it's all composite material, and it's just a lattice work that you can use molly straps on. So that's a fantastic way to go. But anyway, 1,000,001 uses for these, and I was able to pick up 2 for $8. Now, if you're shopping new, you can get, you know, the UCP pattern pouches pretty cheap. Coyote, maybe a little bit more, but if you're going to OCP or Multicam, they're averaging anywhere between $40 to $50 a piece if they're new. So I've seen them higher. So I want utilitarian, and now that I know these will accept dye and any color I want to do it now, yeah, that's a fantastic deal. Now we're moving on to some hydration stuff. This is a Camelback sealed, brand new cleaning kit for hydration bladders. I bought one of these years ago when they first became available for the Camelback that I had at the time. And I forget how much it cost. It was not cheap, but you know, when you look at the stuff you have, you're like, okay, it looks like it will do the job. It looks handy and convenient, so I'll go ahead and pick it up. But I looked them up online, and the average price these things are going for is $35, $35.99, and I was able to get 2 of these. And again, they had a few more, but I didn't want to be stingy. 2 of these, and I think I paid $10 for the both. They were both $5, and so that's a savings of about 31 bucks on the average price per. So 62 bucks savings in all, and I plan on using my hydration bladder quite a bit this summer, and so these will come in handy. And moving right along with hydration bladders, I picked up a bladder pouch. Now this one is pretty heavily used. It is missing half of the sternum strap. Other than that, it's completely serviceable. However, it is pretty well worn, and it's got a little bit of fading on there. So I was looking at it, and I said, well, that's got a lot of parts on there I can use. Yeah, these Grimlocks, you know, those are about $2-3 bucks a piece. And, you know, the actual American-made ones from ITW, I think individually you get a pack of 2 for about $7 or $8 bucks. And, you know, you have plastic D-rings, you have slide clip buckles, you have extra webbing. So just for parts alone, that's quite a bit of money right there on the parts. Not to mention the neoprene style padding that surrounds these. This could very easily be taken apart, the seam split, and resewn as a insulated water bottle pouch or a canteen pouch. What's that? There's something at the bottom of it. It's a doobie. No, it's not a doobie. That's a nasty rolled up piece of paper that's been soaking wet. Now it's... Hey, but you got to see it first, folks. Lucky you. So anyway, I bought this for parts because it was $3. $3. Now, pick up the next one. This one, bought at a different time, different seller. This is in very good shape, a little bit of fading, not as much as the other, and it is missing half of the sternum strap as well. However, it's now not missing the sternum strap. So now I have a 100% completely serviceable, very good condition hydration bladder pouch that I can take in the field with me as is. All I need to do is pick up a bladder, and you know, I want to keep going back to this place, and maybe I'll find a new bladder that I can get with it, because I'm not buying a used bladder. And on eBay, there's tons of people selling them. I still think they're a little high, so I'm going to hold out for a little while, but I've got the pouch for when I'm ready. And different time. This is very good to like new, and the bladder has never been used, and it is completely brand new. When you use a bladder, you can tell, because these are opaque bladders, and you will have a water film on them. No matter what you do to clean them, it's like it would be like the equivalent of light dust on a shelf. but you can still tell. The bladder has never been used. However, it had been issued. And I know it had been issued because Gamboa received it. And this is 100% complete. Perfect condition. All the parts there. Everything is absolutely fantastic. $10. $10. So, this one here, which is a little bit better shape, that was $5. 10, that's 15. One I'm going to be using for parts. It was $3, so $18 for the 3. This one here, salvage the parts from those just in the hardware alone. I'm looking at the neighborhood of about $15 to $20 worth of hardware that's on this. If you were buying individual items, brand new in the package from ITW. So that, I think, is a pretty good haul. But wait, there's more. Lots more. This is a pair of Belleville boots. These are the mid-height. Most of the ones that I have seen that are available are the higher boots. They come up to about right here. These, as you can see, have never been broken in. They have been worn because there's still mud on the bottom of them, but they've never been broken in. They've never been worn enough to break in. So I would say, I mean, there's not even any stain from sweat or water or anything on the exterior of these boots. And so I looked these up online. There was a couple surplus stores, online surplus stores that are good surplus stores. I've ordered stuff from them in the past. I've always been very happy with what they sell. These particular boots were selling on both of their websites for $59.99. So $60 is what this boot generally goes for. I wear a size 10.5 regular, and these are 10 wides. Tried them on, they fit fantastic. However, because they're not broken in, they didn't really conform to the contour of my feet, and I have a medium arch, and I didn't feel the arch support in these that I needed. But I started thinking about, well, you know what? Dr. Scholl's makes some pretty nice insoles. So, yeah, what the hey? I'll pick them up. $10. $10 for this pair of Belleville boots that have been worn, but they have not been worn long enough to get any type of break-in whatsoever. So, here's the comfort support I need for those boots. Dr. Scholl's. This pair of insoles cost $12. So that brings my boots to a grand total of $22. Still far better than $60. And yet another time, perusing through, this place had nothing military whatsoever in the booth except for this multicam sleeve hanging on a rack with all kinds of pretty girly clothes. Grab it, pull it off, and it is a, I believe it's proper. It could be, no, true spec. It is a true spec, see if we can get that in there, a true spec size large combat shirt. And as you can see from the label, look at the armpits. That's where you always see the stains from use. It's a little bit faded, but I think it's just by nature of that heavier fabric. It has a tendency to, I guess, fade out a little faster than the ripstop. But anyway, fantastic. I pull up the sleeve, Look at the price tag, $5. So, and it fits perfect. Absolutely fits perfect. Now this, we're really starting to get into some big stuff now. Some really big stuff. This is the main bag of a large Molly 2 pack. This, I would say, would be very good to like new condition. It took me a little while to inspect this. I went through the inside, the outside, every strap, every buckle that you need to put this on a frame is here. Not missing any parts. There is no damage to it whatsoever. So I don't have to worry about repairing anything. And I don't own a large Molly 2 rucksack, but now I do. But now I have to get a frame, shoulder straps, and waist belt to finish it off. But that's okay. I'm a patient person. If it takes a little bit of time, that's okay. That's okay. I will spend a little bit more to complete this pack. Now I realize these things are going fairly inexpensively today. You can get a complete set, good condition, very good condition, relatively inexpensively. Usually you won't get the sustainment pouches. If you do, they're usually the coyote brown ones, and a lot of times too, with the nature of the frame, if you're getting a used frame, you really have to look at that, because there could be very fine hairline cracks in those that aren't really obvious. You have to sort of flex that frame back and forth. So, you know, that's a whole iffy thing. So even though you're getting it inexpensively, you might wind up having to almost immediately go out and buy a new frame or a replacement frame for the one it's on it the first couple times you take it out, because that's one huge failing with this particular pack system. There's a few, but that's one big one, is that frame. So looked it all over, looked at the price tag, $20. $20 for this. And so now I do not feel bad whatsoever taking my time shopping around for the shoulder straps, the frame, and the waist belt. And hopefully I will be able to complete this in a very good condition, to like new condition, for less than $100, which is a whole lot better than good condition complete, and there's usually running between $150 to $200. The one thing I was the most excited to find in this flea market was a Molly 2 medium rucksack in very good to like new condition. And this one, I thought it was definitely too good to be true. So I spent a lot of time inspecting every bit of this. I looked at this for about a half an hour inside and out before I decided, yeah, this is definitely a purchase. It was $70. $70. Now, if you can find one of these online that's new, you're definitely looking at in excess of $250. If you find one, and a lot of the ones I see on eBay, they're good condition, prior use, a little bit of fading, a little bit of wear, things like that, you're still paying well in excess of $100. I'd say on average, when you're looking at the medium range of condition, average condition of these things being sold on eBay, you're going to be spending at least $150. And so $70, I was like, yeah, today was a very good day. Well, folks, there you have it. all the items that I was able to pick up over the past several months from a single indoor flea market. I think you can agree that I got some great pieces of kit at some fantastic prices. And if you're not one that frequents flea markets and you might be interested in some of this type of kit yourself, you might want to check a couple local ones out. Check them out. Who knows? You might be able to get as lucky as I've been over the past several months. Well, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. And I'll go there frequently whenever I have my chiropractor's appointment. But there is zero sign of wear. $6 for these two. I think that's a pretty dang good deal. Another. I hate cell phones. Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it? Now, you know how I feel about the pattern. It's yeah. All the fantastic loot I've been able to pick up at a indoor flea